Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup 4. Gonna be casting now from the upper bracket quarterfinals. I realized that I hadn't cast this one yet, so oops. We've already cast on stream the semifinals and the one of the semifinals anyway. But you know, figured I might as well cover this one before it is too late. So it's gonna be between myself and Fear. Me playing as the Galzine, as is customary, and Fear over here is gonna be playing as the Coalition. Of course, you should know him from Remastered if you play that game. He's the winner of the first Belcora Cup, and he is organizing the second one as we speak. So, which, by the way, if you enjoy competitive Remastered, you should definitely jump in there. They're still looking for players, so they need you. What are the builds going to be here? Looks like Sandscaper Fabrication is coming out for me immediately. And I believe, if I remember this game, my plan was to go extremely aggressive. I didn't want to have long games. I just wanted to attack as fast as I possibly could. To that end, I picked Tight End Passage for the first map. Fear picks College Teeth. I picked Galzine Territories Alt and KT Alt. And Fear picks the Boneyard. And I think all of these are going to be pretty good for 1PC plays. I banned the Shallows for the same reason. Fear banned Torn Crater, and that was probably a very good move for him. So, there's the context, my friends. Sandscaper Fabrication finishes, the PC is moving out. Let's see what build Fear is going for. I believe he put all 4 on CUs, which is probably the correct move. LAV Fab finishes first here. Although he has a probe out, that seems a little odd to me. I'm not sure what this probe is doing for him. No base runner retirement, he's made 2 salvagers, it looks like. Oh no. Oh, say it ain't so. Okay, no, it's not gonna be the dreaded LAV first into SC first. No, so he's gonna go for AV Fabrication now. This is a bit of an odd build. I think you probably could optimize this a little bit more with a base runner retirement to get some RUs out, and definitely by not sending this probe out. Because this probe here, of course, hasn't done anything for him just yet. Coming out across the field now. He hopes to scout what I'm doing. And to that end, I think he will see this this Sand Skimmer right here. He should, anyway. Contact met. Now, if you see your opponent with Sand Skimmer Fabrication this early on in the game, he didn't go ref mode first, right? And so it's a pretty good guess that you're going to get rushed at this point. The probe coming down here is a good move. Now he wants to come out here and check what tech comes off of my carrier. And it is going to be Rail Fab finishing in just a couple of seconds. We have an upgraded carrier production coming out first. That's kind of that's actually, I think, a good move, but maybe not for the reason he thinks. He probably should already have an AV or 2 out on the field here. What he needs to do in order to beat this rail rush here, which I don't think he saw actually. He should have been hanging around the carrier to check the tech there, but what he needs to do in order to beat the rail rush is to outdo me in the LAV count. If he has more LAVs than I have Sand Skimmers, things get difficult. Then he can tech Rail Fab, and that way he, stops me from making assault rails, and then he can try to hold by getting a support cruiser moving out onto his second base and being ahead of me here. So those, I would say, are kind of his win conditions here. We already have heavy rails out on the field now. Second one being produced by this PC, probably in response to me seeing AVs on the field. Good smoke there. He'll keep the base runner alive, and that is going to be impactful. He wants to get I think, a turret up on his main, probably. Or at least have the option to do it by moving his carrier out there. Or his base runner. Instead, he's going to go for the artifact. Maybe this is actually better. But this base runner is so weak, it feels, likely that it could be killed. I think his big problem is just now he's seeing, oh shoot, there's something behind me. And that is going to be the PC. He's managed to get up here on the high ground. And this is not where you want to be if you're Fear. You can see I can't tell what I want to shoot at with these railguns, which is a bit suboptimal. It's going to cause me to waste a couple of shots there. Good smoke, though. He keeps the thing alive for now. One AV comes down toward my bases. I love that. That's a very good move. Just get some counter-attacking potential. But what he needs here is not AVs, because that's obviously just going to die to the railguns. He needs to be spamming LAVs and rely on me not having enough Sand Skimmers to deal with it, which actually I really kind of don't. This is a bit of a... Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward game, I would say, because I only have 1 production cruiser. I don't have any upgrades. You can see him getting the assault pack now. And so I'm not going to have enough LAVs to deal with, or Sand Skimmers to deal with his LAVs if he comes out with them. Oh, that feels bad, man. It looks like I did get the EMP upgrade. I EMP'd an LAV as it was coming out of the carrier. That shot's going to miss, though. 1 LAV goes down. Now, one thing you can do to mitigate this is to turn the carrier so that it's facing this way. And then the LEVs come out the back. I do have so many heavy rails, though, that he's got to act quickly. Oh, this is the wrong move. You don't want to move up there. Ugh. He did just get power out. I think that's what he's thinking, but this is a bad idea. Gonna stun one of the AVs, just try and buy me a little bit of time here. Assault rails start coming out because I see, you know, there's no threat to them on the field here, and this carrier is so damaged that it's out of commission. It's not going to be part of this fight now. LEV's getting jumped on as well. There's still a superior number of railguns here. And that should be pretty much all she wrote for Fear. At this point, a comeback would be quite difficult. He's got to run off of his main base. We still have this many railguns out, obviously. Now with an assault rail joining him, it's going to be very difficult to beat me using LAVs. And the main base should fall before too long now. You know, I guess if you can build up this many rails, you almost don't need sand skimmers to protect them necessarily, because the EMP rounds can do something against the LAVs, but I don't know. It still feels like I had way too many rails here, not enough LAVs, but you can see I'm still building them. Now I have 5. Jeez. It's fun when you watch your own play and you're like, huh, this is not really the right move. I've been doing this a lot more recently ever since this tournament. I've been trying to like perfect this style because it's a lot of fun, and I found that what you really need is just sand skimmers. The railguns are somewhat less important. A support cruiser? That doesn't seem like the right move. Yeah, it's just gonna instantly die. Feels bad, man. Of course, I'm not one to talk about units popping out of the carrier and instantly dying. That's like my trademark when I play Coalition. Carrier goes down, and that is going to be game 1 in the bag for him. Load game 2 in. Yeah, I think Fear's build was a little middle of the road, kind of. Like, it felt like he wanted to AV rush, but he also wanted to expand. You can't do that in DOK, really. You gotta, you know, pick one thing, go for that instead. And you can see it in the mining, right? I was on one base the whole time, but I still have, you know, more CUs collected than he does. So yeah, you gotta be a little bit faster, I think, on the draw for getting either a support cruiser out, in which case don't build units until you have that on the queue, or getting units out, in which case, you know, don't make a probe, don't make salvagers stuff until you then have them out on the queue. Don't make salvagers, that's not necessarily true. Yeah, the number of salvagers kind of depends, but usually when we're doing like a rush off of one base, we get maybe like 1 or 2 long distance miners, that's it. And the base runner probe definitely did not help him there either. In fact, I think, you know, the probe is a good scouting tool. I think what people need to learn is that scouting is only effective if knowing the information allows you to do something. So something that I see people do very often when they do support cruiser first builds is that they'll send the probe out and then they'll get LAV fabrication. But it's like, I mean, what are you going to do if you see a rush coming, you know? Yeah, you have the information now, but you can't really do anything, can you? Because you don't even have LAV fab started, so it doesn't really help you much. Oh, I must not have optimized this build yet. In this scenario, I should be making another salvager, and I just didn't know this yet. Rail fab is 450 by 200, so I have, like, CUs in the bank that I can spend here. No, it's going to be different. Quick dropping to 100 tells me I probably want to go for assault jets. Okay. That'll be interesting then. This time from Fear, we see support cruiser first properly, though. And I'm very happy about this. However, I think that going 8 up is a little risky against Galzian, and we are going to see it's going to be a rush. But this is a much better build just in general. It's a lot less kind of middle of the road, so I'm happy about that. One sand skimmer going to finish for me, second one is on the way now. I've learned through much failure, much trial and error, that assault ship builds are really not about doing damage to the base. It's about, oh, hold on. It's really not about doing damage to the base. It's about delaying the second one so that you can get up to your second before they do. I don't know if I knew this at this time, so I might try something silly, but... At any rate, he's not terribly well equipped to deal with me. Did he cancel the... Oh, no. I think he canceled the support cruiser. Ooh. That's probably not the right move. Obviously, in Remastered, this is maybe what he's thinking. You can just, like, flip production around. It doesn't really matter. You can have a shipyard halfway built and just be building other things instead, but you can't do that in DOK. And he's really going to wish he had that support cruiser with him now, because if I want to, I can... Yeah, look, I already have ref mode on the queue. I can just get ref mode, go back to my base, and I can be on 2 base, like, miles ahead of you now. So... That's a yikes. That's a yikes for sure. Oh, hey. A-game is in the chat. Say something, A-game. Tell me what's up with your life. Oh no, I'm not gonna do this. This is maybe BM here, but it's fun BM, so it's okay, right? I'm gonna start mining off of Fear's third base instead of taking my second. Okay, you could say actually that this has an advantage though, right? Because I'll have like faster reinforcement. Oh no. This is stupid. I probably shouldn't do this, but I was kind of feeling probably too confident in this match, so I just decided to troll a little bit. Base runner getting chewed up a little bit here. I don't want to let him extract, obviously. At this point, I know he has 2 base runners. I've just seen it. So, no reason to let him get extractions off. That's definitely the last thing I want. He's going to go hyper defensive here, by the way, setting up turrets on his main with 2 base runners, and I think this one's also meant to do the same. But, you know, being on his 1 base is not going to help him too much. He's going to be fighting a 2 base army here. I think the second PC will probably be the next thing that I get after fleet cap. Whoa. Oh, excuse me, I have the hiccups. But I still haven't contained on his main here. Oh, this is nice, though. A bunch of LAVs going to come out. They're going to help this base runner get his extraction off, and they probably will succeed. This assault ship wants to come in and see, okay, well, can we do anything with that army? Gone, then? But I'll find this turret here. Definitely want to back away from that. So, he should be able to get this extraction out. I'm going to make a base runner attack. I should definitely be making another PC here. I'm not sure exactly what this move is, but that's okay, though. Once you get on the 2 base, you know, you have the spending potential to be building off of 2 production cruisers, and you definitely need that if you're going to contain the Coalition player, because he is able to make units a lot faster. So if you don't have some kind of a production edge, you're not going to win this fight. I'm actually really not sure where all of his money is gone, though. It looks like he's making some rails. Maybe that's it. But I feel like he ought to have more money than this. It's weird. He's going to move out with his carrier now. Oh, okay, I see. He's got the production upgrade, and he made a support cruiser. Alright, so now he can weed me off of his second base, for sure. Again, this is where, you know, I ought to have another PC already. But instead I'm getting range calibration, because I'm such a tryhard. I want that build to work. Power 1 is done for him, but more importantly, 1 artifact is out, so he's on 1-1-1. This is a nice split. I always see this. These skimmers going to get kind of stuck in here. This is a little bit nervous feeling. I'd rather back them away. Maybe we can even kill this base runner on the way out. But they're going to jump in here, see what's there to see. There is a turret, though, so I don't know what exactly these sand skimmers are going to get done. Other than dying fruitlessly. Ouch. Feels bad, man. Rails up in this position are very good. Obviously, he can't really push out through these hills here. And so I have a capability with these assault ships, if I don't throw them like this. Oh my gosh, what are you doing, Bozo? Keep him back with... This is maybe okay. I have a capability, though, of holding this hill here and stopping him from getting through the assault ships. And then obviously with the rails I have calibration, and so I should be able to keep him away from there as well. EMP rounds and everything. I haven't made a second PC. Oh no, what am I doing? You've got the money for it. Just do it. Just do it. Ah, there we go. I don't know what I was doing this game. Double extract coming out from Fear, by the way. This actually does make me slightly nervous. I don't want to just let him extract away like this. So it looks like I'm going to send the assault ships down there to try and deal with it. But I want to get Vigilance Carrier too. Maybe like 1 Sand Skimmer from this PC would be nice. Rail Armor is starting to come out now too. So we're going to have like full upgrades on these railguns probably before too long. Assault ships are here. Obviously the LAVs have to give way to that. And we should be able to just chase down the Space Runner, and that should be a kill. And we have an assault ship back over here as well, which is giving us vision and also protecting us from these LAVs. These guys have range calibrations. I mean, they can probably hit, like, all the way to here, I would say. Yeah, so here goes this artifact. He will score another one, though, so the scoreline will become 2-1. Here's my second PC, and it's going to go straight up to the field there, and my idea now is, okay, let's just finish this off. I want to kill him at this point, rather than go for more eco, which obviously I have the potential for, right? I could actually get onto 4 base against him here, but I decide instead this is the way I'm going to do it. And he still doesn't know. Like, he still hasn't figured out that I have this base mining over here because, I mean, why would you scout this? This just seems so left field, so. Railguns targeting salvagers like they like to do. Feels bad, man. But he is going to scout here. Okay, no third base. And he may well come up and find that there's no second base either, but that would be a little bit confusing for him, I'm sure. Siege Cruiser Fab going to finish. I'm not sure why I'm getting that. Maybe I feel like I can't push against these rails or something, but... Now that the railguns are in range, it's good to turn off calibration so that they can just move faster, but get away from that carrier. But I guess I don't want to do that because why would I? It's easy as the caster to say what's right, but it's a little bit harder to do it, as you can see. Looks like these rails are actually going to get out, though. One of them will die. Or three, that is. One of them lives, I should say. Range calibration turned back on so we can shoot at the carrier again. I should still be backing away though. But, I don't know, this fight is looking a little bit awkward. I'm like trying to get vision, but I keep losing units. EMP rounds is a miss, unfortunately. Does this rail live? Oh, yes it will. And this guy probably wants to turn on calibration now, but he's on cooldown real quickly. But this is going well. If we check the units lost tab here. Wow, we're almost even. Your RuneScape girlfriend dumped you. Feels bad, man. Is that a thing? You know, I don't want to know. I don't really want to know. Yeah, Fear probably going to be confused why there's no second base here, but there is actually one up on his third. He's going to scout that now with the Salvager. Oh man, that's hilarious. It's too good. Range calibration's on, so these guys are like rotating to like shoot at the Salvager. That's kind of funny. That would actually be a little bit awkward if a railgun fight starts now. He's gonna head over there to see if he can stop this base, but that's gonna be difficult to do with all these sand skimmers running around. Galzian Carrier, meanwhile, just gonna say no to this base runner. Obviously, you know, he has plans to set down turrets and whatever we wanna stop that if we can. Now the sand skimmers do a lot better job of getting vision because they won't be killed by the railguns. Now we're able to use range calibration to its fullest finally. So we're hitting this carrier. We just went out of range. No, we're still in range. And now we've got that carrier down to about half. We poke in again, we can just slowly push him further and further off of his base there. Little run-in of LAV is going to come in on the side here, but we do have EMP rounds on the railgun, so it doesn't seem likely to me that we could really lose this fight. I think we even have the skimmer majority. No upgrades on either side. Extraction going to come down to me. That brings the scoreline to 2-2. And now we have somewhat of an efficiency on the second base, but we can push further. This should be our goal here, is to push up and try and get him off of his second base entirely. The assault ships would like to push up here, but they're not going to be able to. Too many rails, there's a turret down and everything, but we can at least, you know, keep some pressure on this flank, keep them guessing. Rail's going to get into range once more, painfully slowly, as you'd expect. Looks like we're just going to content ourselves with shooting salvagers for now. Come on now, move forward. Move forward, Bozo, what are you doing? Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to hit this carrier. We're gonna lose vision in just a moment, though. So these rails should back away again, because we know he wants to push up with his railguns, and if we can keep range on him, that's better for us. You can see me kind of spamming some EMP in here, thinking he's gonna push. Yeah, me too, me too. It's just, it doesn't feel like you're winning anymore, it feels like you're styling on them, you know what I mean? And that's obviously, you know, to your advantage. I think a siege cruiser's out now. No, it doesn't look like it. But we are getting up on these rails with our sand skimmers, which is probably going to be good for us. There are AVs here, we're actually taking quite a bit more damage than I would have expected, but you know, he's going to be unable to just muscle us away with this carrier. He doesn't have any rails left, so we can push in a lot more, yeah, we can push in a lot more aggressively now. Smoke is deployed, trying to keep that carrier alive just a little bit longer. Range calibration's turned on probably a little bit too early. We probably want to move up a little bit first, just because it'll take more time, but like, what you gonna do? Again, I still haven't expanded to my second and third, so I could be on like 4 base this whole time, but that would be boring, right? We wouldn't really enjoy that. That's the third artifact out, no? I'm really having trouble pushing up here, though. I don't know why this is so hard for me. I feel like this game probably should have been over already. Fourth artifact is scored. Skimmer damage 2 is on the line here. Okay, just push in with the skimmers. Keep these guys moving. Come on, Bozo, you can do this. Again, like a siege cruiser would be really nice for me here, actually, and I have the money for it. These assault ships are really enjoying being on high ground here, apparently. We have armor 1 from the beginning of the game, so that's going to be just fine. Skimmer's finally getting to range here, so now we're shooting at this carrier once more. Man, this is sloppy for me, though, because really I should have been able to push him off of the second quite some time ago. Just so much idle time with these rails ought to be pushing forward, and I think there's also some high ground that we can get if we can get up onto this rock here. Messy. Messy, messy, messy. Come on, Bozo, just finish it off. I'm yelling at myself here. Fighter and gunship gonna start out now for Fear. Looks like we're finally making that siege cruiser on my end. I think at this point, though, it's taken so long, we're probably just gonna win off of the artifact, but fighter and gunship would work, though. You can imagine one gunship gonna do really a lot of damage to these heavy rails here. Here we go, we're hitting on the sport cruiser now. Smoke is deployed to try and stop it, but that's obviously a bad scenario when you're just kind of popping smoke to delay things. Last artifact is picked up by the space runner, so we are ready to go. LAV assault pack starting to detect for Fear now, so he's trying to get in on the LAVs too, use them to maybe do some damage, but I think that's not going to work. Oh, he's got a big float, though. It's okay for him to spend money, I suppose. But he really needs, I think, a gunship here or something. Perhaps recognizing, though, he absolutely must get to this artifact, but he is going to be too late anyway. And I think that's an EMP round, but look at that effect. Oh my gosh. That's trippy, dude. Dang. That's cool looking. Anyway, the game is going to go to me, though. After much ado. This is like a 15-minute long game, but I should have been able to finish this much quicker than that. It works, though. Let me load game 3 in here. Alrighty. There's no music for some reason. What happened to my music? Curious. Okay, the music started up again, though. It'll be alright. That was weird, though. Game 3, you're going to be on Galzian territories. Now, this is obviously a map that's very good for 1PC rail rushing, so should be no surprise based on the rest of the series that is going to be my plan this time. But Fear has got to expect it, right? I'd rather think so, anyway. Salvager just casually mining RUs off of his carrier. I feel like this is a bad idea, but like whatever. Look at the low polys on there. I do have my graphics settings to low though, so that's probably the reason for this. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Oh no, it's gonna be some kind of a 2 PC play. What the heck? We haven't seen 2 PC plays for some time now. Anyway, it's on Fear really to figure out how he wants to deal with this. He's seen it twice now, so what is he going to do this time to deal with the early game aggression for me? LAV Fab is coming out here as well as 2 LDMs. Again, I think in this kind of a build, which probably is going to be an AV rush, he ought to be retiring the base runner. Get him a couple more RUs so that he can get this out before making that second LDM. This will probably be okay, though. With 2 PC plays, I always think that the idea is to like get one of the PCs down to like the corner here and use kind of the positioning that you have to attack from 2 different angles at the same time. But this really is a map where I feel like the rail rush would be better. We have so much open ground out here, just around that carrier. I mean, we can get range on the carrier from here, and then any unit that comes in to attack us is going to have to go through low ground. So I kind of feel like this would have been the better play, but that is irrelevant. Probe is going to come out here, and he goes like straight for this PC. Wow, I can't believe he found that. that was a good probe. Oh my goodness. Maybe I take it back about retiring the base sprinter. Maybe this was the right move after all. Anyway, you see a PC in this kind of position, you sort of know what's going on here. Probe comes out to scout the second, and it's not going to see the second PC. And that's good for me. It is going to be assault ship fab this time, but this PC is kind of in danger, so gonna have to build some sand skimmers from here and then kind of conglomerate with this guy, maybe see if we can push these LEVs off of me. But at this point, I'm already feeling a little bad about the PC rush because he's seen me. He knows that I'm here, and I don't like doing 2 PC builds and my opponent knows that I'm coming. So I might actually go back and tech ref mode. Now, with 3Cap45 coming out, it looks like I'm probably going to attack anyway. Yep, and there's assault ships on the queue. Alrighty. There's a turret already being set up though by the space sprinter, and that's a very wise move. Maybe it would come back to bite him if it turned out that I, fill back into 3 base here, but it's not what's going to happen here. So that turret will definitely help him quite a lot. It's in good spot too. It can cover, the advance from up here near the second, but it also covers this area here where I want to attack on the main. Assault ship is out. This is high ground. This is going to be very good against these LEVs, so he has to back away. Sand skimmer is going to get chunked up by this turret though, so that's very good for fear. We're going to come up with this assault ship over here, but again, high ground turret going to force us back. And this guy narrowly escaping with his life. And that turret is doing some serious work. It's in like literally the perfect position. And this is why I don't like to do 2 PC attacks after my opponent sees me. Because often, you feel like you're just kind of going to get killed here. In fact, if it were me, I would actually just cancel this and then just go straight to ref mode. A support cruiser is already out here. He's going to be on 2 base before too long, so it probably makes more sense that we just kind of leave. And that looks like that is going to be the place. So ref mode will be on the way now. Armor 1 is still nice to have for the assault ship, so maybe I did that just to get that on the way out here. And now the plan is going to be, okay, we know he's going to get up onto 2 base before us, but let's just delay his 3 base as long as we can. And if we can get up onto 3 base at a significantly faster timing, then we're going to have a good time because we'll have just a lot more eco on the field. Railguns are out for fear though. That's what he needs to start pushing me off with these assault ships. So immediately going to start backing away over here. So what I ought to do is find some kind of a hill that I can hide behind. I'm going to choose this one. It's very close to the salvager, so I can pop out and do damage if he thinks that he's safe and tries to just mine off of it. And yeah, that's going to be the play. Just try and delay my opponent, keep him off of his bases while I get my bases set up. We should have a good time from there. Missile battery fabrication coming out for fear now. This is for anti-air. That's not a bad move actually, but I maybe would have delayed it a little bit. Your opponent, usually if he goes back for economy like this, as you can see, with that probe he knows that I'm doing, he's not going to get air for like some time, so I would probably delay that a little bit, but it is going to be good for him to have. But Fear doesn't even have any scouting over here on this 3rd base. He saw me come back, so he ought to know, okay, my priority has to be get up on the 3 base as fast as I can because he's going to be up there. But he doesn't really seem to be taking any steps to getting there, does he? He's just now saturating his 3rd, actually. Gotta say, that makes me a bit nervous for him. Even though I am his opponent. Isn't that curious? Base Runner picks up an artifact here, but the extraction seems pretty unlikely. We still have assault ships and stuff out on the field. I think that Fear actually has more military units on the field than I do, though, which is interesting, but because I'm the one who's kind of going for like the attack in the early game here. And I think that kind of shows I've gotten the reaction from him that I wanted. I wanted him to overreact to I wanted him to overreact to the attack and then just, you know, go back up on the 3 base. It seems to have worked. One salvager nearly getting chunked there, but he makes it away. And it's going to be Assault Cruiser Fabrication coming out from Fear now first. He must have just built an SC, otherwise why would he be moving like this? Attack. I don't really understand what's going on over there. LAV is going to get hunted down in the back line, so they will go down. And that base runner just going to have to come back home. He can't extract yet, so he'll have to bide his time. Base runner picks up an artifact here in the middle, and I should be able to extract this one. After Burner getting teched here, I'm also going into precision bombers, so this is going to be pretty heavy airplay. And Fear just now is coming back here to try and root out the units that are on his 3rd base. If I were Discar, I'd quit the replay now and see like how much had been mined here, but I don't know the exact numbers. All I can say is it's going to be a lot more for me. This is a bad situation for Fear. In fact, I could even just come in with these sand skimmers. I'm giving him a lot of respect here, but these railguns are actually not protected. So if I wanted to, I could just kind of run in here and try and shoot down these rails with these sand skimmers. He has armor 1, it looks like. Yeah. But it's going to be difficult for him anyway to weed out this base to the point where it's safe to mine in it. Oh, I was shooting at the dead pack. That's so cool. Anyway, probe comes out here to get vision. This is actually a really good way to use probes for like the military. Ow. But it's gonna be difficult still to weed out these assault ships here. Apparently he's got line of sight on me. That feels somewhat unlike. Oh, he does. Look at that. Bombers are on the queue now here. We have 2 bombers out already. Recharge upgrade is coming out too. Gonna finally start getting railgun fabrication as well. And here we go for our 2nd artifact. Again though, still no further progress really in weeding out these assault ships here. And it looks like he's gonna do it with his SC, so he's gonna have his carrier come out and loot them out for us. What the heck? No, this is an assault cruiser. What on earth? But yeah, this is an exceedingly long time to be held off of your 3rd base. This is really starting to become, you know, untenable at this point. Okay, support cruiser does come out. But by this point, like if you check the units now, right? Even disregarding all the interceptors, I feel like I'm still ahead here. And I've got, you know, bombers and interceptors in the hangar and whatever. This is gonna be bad times for Fear. This is what happens if you take this long to get onto your 3rd base. So once you scout that your opponent is falling back off of a 2 PC build, you've got to get up onto 3 base just like as fast as you can. Assault cruisers are going to come up here to try to challenge the assault ships, but I think he's actually going to lose the fight with this many of them on high ground. He should also use the overcharge ability. This increases your DPS and your armor. But he's going to have to back away here. He does get one of them, but that's going to be too bad for him, though. Railgun's going to come up here to try and deal with it together. But now we have 5 bombers in the hangar, so things could get bad here. We don't have any anti-air on the field at all, actually, for Fear. He's teched missile batteries, but he hasn't built any, so this will be quite the bomber reveal. I mean, we might be able to kill, like, everything. I can't remember exactly how this goes in-game, but it doesn't seem like things are going to be good here. Now, he scouts us with this probe, which is really nice. So missile battery's just going to get built immediately here. And precision bomber's going to go after the railguns. I don't know what that bomb was fired at, but it seems like a miss. Now the support cruiser are going to start getting dinked a little bit here. Here's a missile battery, so we're just going to try and kill that thing. That's always a fun move when they have anti-air to just like kill it and be like, heh, my air killed your anti-air, how do you feel about this? But what I'd really like to do is kill the support cruiser, but I think I may have used all the bombs already, so unfortunately that won't be on the cards. And we'll just have to head back home. But that was a lot of damage done right there. Check the units lost tab here. It's starting to look a little bit a little bit uneven, to say the least. We also have Railfab. Now that we've seen assault cruisers, I think I probably should start building those. Yeah, sure enough, those are beginning to get up onto the queue. But I really should make another PC. You can see I have this gigantic CU float here, so that would be good to get. Support cruiser anti-air going to come out from Fear. I don't blame him. This is a pretty big air reveal. When you see your opponent has that much air, getting assault cruiser or like support cruiser anti-air is not a bad move. Air unit's going to be tasked now with killing this assault cruiser. They're going to manage that without too much difficulty. One missile battery shot lands on the bombers, but they should be okay. But I'm just going to dock the interceptors anyway. Maybe I shouldn't. I should probably just keep these guys up, but it's fine. I think we've used 2 bombs, so we have 2 more left on these precision bombers here. Oh no, we have 3. I got the upgrade for it too. Alrighty. So there's a lot of DPS stacked up in these bombers here. Gonna start going after another assault cruiser now. There is actually a lot of anti-air here now, so we may lose some bombers off of this run. Yep, 1 bomber gonna go down here. This guy probably should not make this run, but hey. Apparently I don't want to learn my lessons, so... Yeah, he'll make it out. He's fine. Assault Cruiser uses its heal ability, though, so I don't manage to get any kills off of that. So, the bombers still give me incredible field control here, but I don't have... You know, I can't just destroy his main anymore. I can't just kill his carrier with these things. That's good for him. I wouldn't say he's stabilized. My army is still way bigger than his, but this is going to be a very difficult mid-game. I'll put it that way. Railgun's starting to come out for me now. That's what I need to deal with the assault cruisers. I'm just going to use the interceptors to dump some damage on the carrier. Just kind of give him second thoughts about moving out like this. That's a lot of damage, oh my gosh. Turret is dead here somehow. Oh, that's what the bomber shot at. I'm so smart. Anyway, that means that we're able to move in here up onto the main with the assault ships and the sand skimmers here. I like how the sand skimmers are not shooting at anything. That's probably the optimal strategy. Heavy rail is going to get kind of jumped on here though, so we might have to use the interceptors on the LAVs here, which is never exactly what you want to do. They tend to miss quite a bit, but I mean, when you have this many of them, it'll probably do some good damage anyway. Bomber's getting involved too, so we may lose a heavy railgun, but it seems, you know, that's going to be okay. This is still easily a good trade for us. We do kill the support cruiser over here. The assault ships will go down, but that's okay. Third PC is out, so we're ready to mobilize that carrier. I've actually been holding on to an artifact this whole time. Probably should have extracted this one. And now we've got quite a number of heavy rails out on the field. And I think we can just start taking carrier power and go for a power play. Our air is still giving us excellent field control, and so with range calibration on these railguns, you know, we should be able to siege him down from any position we like. This should be a pretty simple game from this point. We actually have power 3 teched by Fear, by the way. That's kind of interesting. Honor guards. Oh, I forgot I even had teched that. I just killed the LAV blob, though, so I'm not sure how much this is really necessary, but... yeah, whatever. Why not, right? Air unit's gonna get launched again. I don't really know where they're going to attack. We have pretty good anti-air coverage over the whole field, I would say. If I were Fear, I might even consider getting assault cruiser anti-air. Just try and get a couple more anti-air assets to deal with these bombers, because if they can come in, do damage, and leave without dying, then it's basically just like free damage, you know what I mean? It's like being on 2 base against 3 base, you know? I'm getting free money basically against you. Does he have idle salves? Uh-oh. Bit of a missaturation in the second as well. Uh-oh. That's obviously not terribly good. If you hit F3, by the way, F3 will select any idle salvagers, so that's the button that you want to be clicking to like figure out where these things are. Range calibration going to turn on, excuse me, on this hill here. Mag Accelerator is just now coming out for Fear, and actually I really respect that choice because you don't need it until your opponent has got... You don't need it until your opponent has got railguns to fight with, really, so... But this is a lot of railguns here. We're gonna lose some interceptors on this pass, but it's okay. I sort of want to fleet capacity anyway. And we're just gonna pop in there, kill a support cruiser, and back away. Looks like we lost 2 interceptors for that exchange. That's definitely worth it for an assault cruiser and for a support cruiser. Honor guards are out, by the way. Gonna move up here to the north. And yeah, it looks like if I really wanted to, my army could just kind of push in here. I don't really know what I'm waiting for. Just playing it cautious, I suppose, but shouldn't need to. Base runner's out here. Another base runner going to be built as well. We only need 2 more to win, but we're going to have 3 in our hands here. So Fear's going to have to dedicate everything to holding us off of that side there. Now, he has got quite a couple of railguns. Classic, you know, coalition production. You can build rails at like an unreasonable rate. Actually, our main base is mined out now. Oh my gosh. Is his? Yeah, he just mined out one of his CU patches. So we're moving into like the pretty late game here now. Oh no, the railguns can reach the support cruiser from this far away. That's tough times. That kind of stuff is tough. Bombers and interceptors gonna come in here. Just gonna try and kill off some railguns, I suppose. Honestly, at this point, I kind of wish I had more fleet capacity for other things because he has so much anti-air on the field. So this might honestly just be a throw. You can see how much money I have in the bank here. Sandskimmer damage 2 gonna come out now as well. But oh my gosh, even with all that anti-air, just look how many railguns they managed to kill here. And with the artifacts in my hands, you know, he can't lose his army like that. That's got to be like game over pretty much. Power 4 on the way here, but I'm still being very passive with this army. You can see though just how much of the field belongs to blue and how much of it belongs to red. Not good times. Damage 2 is done, so we're gonna pop in here. I thought I really needed it. Oh, I'm gonna back away too. Come on, just go in there. What are you worried about? I guess the mortar would be pretty nasty. Oh. Well, clearly I was not worried about the mortar shot then. Because I ate one anyway, but the artifacts are going to extract and that will be the game. And so that's the end of the series too. End up taking that 3-0 from Fear. Feels bad, man. No, he played fine, but he is an RM player. He doesn't have too much practice with DOK. I think he did a good job. And that will be me advancing to the semifinals, which game I think I've already cast and uploaded to YouTube. But you know, what you gonna do? No, I've cast it, but I haven't uploaded it yet. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.